got this on the Gatlinburg strip, in a knife shop called Smoky Mountain Blades. Amazing knife shop. They have so much stuff in there. Me and my dad both got a knife. My sister bought us one, each both. And she asked me which one I wanted, and I picked this one because I don't have a knife like this, and I've always wanted a knife like this before, because the shape of it, I'll show you in a minute, it is great for like kitchen use and cooking, and like when you're hunting, you can skin and then dress your animal, whatever you've hunted, and whatever you plan on hunting. So that's why I got this. That's why I wanted this one. Anyway, the sheath is leather. The handle scales are this. I don't know what it is specifically. I know it's wood. I know it's paca wood, I believe. But I think it's dehydrated. And you know that process where they put it in a vacuum chamber? I think they did that too. They kind of waterproofed it. There's a little hole there's a little hole at the back end of the handle where you could put a lanyard, paracord, little tail somewhere, and then you got rivets holding the belt loop in. Now the sheath, safe to say, the sheath is just made for carrying it. I really don't like sheath construction like this, but it's still just such a beautiful sheath. I'd rather have one that's more friction fit, but I can understand why you didn't go there, because this is a pretty wide knife, especially since it's curved. You'd want something that's a little more. You're gonna need something that's wide for it to fit. So, if you're gonna make it friction fit, let's just say this sheath would be 10 times bigger. That was an exaggeration. Anyway, let's get on with it. Let me show you what all of this knife is. It is a Damascus, if I haven't already said that. It is a Damascus hunting knife. It is, I haven't really took exact measurements of it, but I'd say it's about, about 10 inches long, maybe. 10 inches long, and the width from the widest point is probably about 2 inches, and then to the tip, a fraction of some sort, I don't know. But this is really comfortable. It has texturing on the spine, so it gives it a good grip. It gives it a good grip for whenever you're working with it, whatever you may need for it. It has somewhat of a false edge on the back. I can't really call it a false edge because it's not really ground to an edge, but in a way it is still somewhat of a false edge. And then there is, obviously, you have the maker's mark right here. Smoky Mountain Blades, again, it is not mine, I didn't make it. And then a whole bunch of just texturing and material, a whole bunch of texturing and design all the way down the spine and up the handle. So, you may be wondering, what am I going to use this knife for? Well, I'm going to use this knife as a hunting knife, mostly anyway, because it's definitely not a survival knife. And combat, wait, would you use that as a combat knife? I don't think I would. But it's definitely going to be more of a cooking, hunting knife. And I'm going to try it this year when we go out and hunt for deer again this December or November, or whenever season starts. But I'm going to use this because I really want to see how much better a curved blade would do on skinning and processing. Really, I'm the type of guy that carries a bunch of different knives on me when I'm hunting. One for gutting, one for skinning and processing. Because you could do it, but you'd have to be very careful gutting a deer, any big animal or small animal, with a knife like this. You could do it, but you have to be very careful. When it comes to skinning, I think it'd be good. When it comes to processing, I think it'd be the same. Because curved blades are naturally better at slicing. Curved blades are naturally better at slicing, and straight blades are better at stabbing. The way I heard it explained, the curved kind of acts like a butter knife. When you saw a butter knife back and forth to cut through whatever you're trying to cut through, it's the same effect when you're slicing with a curved blade. It's like you're moving the blade back and forth, but with only one direction and only one motion. So, I also got a katana over there. I may do a video on that here soon. But this is the knife that I'm going to be using this year to hunt.